Hey everyone, Kareem Rae here, and today I have Santiago Bueno on with us. Hey Santi, how's it going?
Everything's good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for joining us today.
Of course, of course.
So, can you please introduce yourself to the viewers?
Of course, my name is Santiago Bueno. I'm right now here in Ecuador playing professionally for Club Deportivo Cuencav. I've been on trials with them for 6 weeks, and they offered me a contract.
Nice. So, Santi, can you take us back in time and tell us a little bit about where soccer started for you?
Soccer started for me at a very young age. It was basically a rat in the family. So it was already brought to me when I first came up. I was born with the ball, basically. So I was playing since I ever started walking, right? So my dad quickly joined me in the league, started playing when I was 3, and then, out here playing now.
Right.
Playing professionally, living my dreams. So couldn't ask for more, basically.
Right. And do you have any past family, like your father or grandfather, that had played professional, or are you the first in the family?
Actually, no, I have my pops played professionally, my father, and my grandfather.
Nice.
So it's running in the family.
Yeah, it definitely runs in the family. And then, how me and Santi, how we know each other, I just want to quickly add this in. We used to play at A&B Academy,
Yeah, exactly.
which was a really good time.
Really good time. Memories.
100%. So where do you originate from, and what passport do you hold?
Right now, I hold a Canadian passport. I was born in Toronto, Canada, and I'm recently living in Brampton right now, and I've been here in Ecuador for about 2 to 3 months, training and working hard.
Right. And the question is, why do you play soccer?
Oof. To be honest, it's just a dream. It's just the dream that I had ever since I was young. I always kept telling my parents that I wanted to be just like my father, just in his footsteps, follow his footsteps, and live out what I love to do is play soccer, right? So.
Absolutely. And what teams have you played for in the past?
Oof, many teams. The one rep team I started on was Woodbridge. I played for Woodbridge, and I went to Epic FC, and then from there I went to a team called International, and then from there I went back to Woodbridge, and then from there we left and I went to A&B.
Right. I played at Woodbridge as well. What age were you when you played for Woodbridge?
I started, I think I was 8 years old at Woodbridge, and then left to go to Epic for a year, and then came back and I played until I was 18 there.
So that's pretty interesting. Why did you go from Woodbridge to Epic? Like, why did you make all these changes?
To be honest, the playing styles were different between Epic and Woodbridge. Woodbridge was more like a tiki-taka kind of team and everything. It didn't work on your individual skills and all that. So we went to Epic. I met Lyndon, a coach named Lyndon, and he helped me with my individual skills and how I am today and how I play individually, and helped me as a better player.
Absolutely. And the last club you played before you signed was A&B Academy, right?
A&B Academy, yeah.
That's amazing. So what position are you playing right now for the team that you're with?
Oh, right now I think it's 2 positions. So I play as a number 5, so a central defensive mid, or a number 10, an attacking midfielder.
Right. And is there, what's the difference between back home in Canada from where you are now in a professional environment? What's the difference that you could share with us?
Like playing wise, like the soccer wise?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's totally different. You can compare here in Ecuador. Here, it's a whole different playing type. Let's just put it that way. Than kicking the ball and running and all that. It's just crazy how I was surprised and how different it was when I first came here, and how passionate these guys were, and how much love they had for the game and everything. And I had to be dedicated enough so I, keep up with them. I had to keep up with them because I was changing in a different environment, right? So I had to dedicate myself to adapt to that playing style. So that's it. It's just Canada and Ecuador. You can't compare the North American style to the South American style. Let's just put it that way.
Why would you say that?
Let's just put it like this. It's in North America, I don't really know how to explain it, but in North America, it's not really. I don't even know how to explain this.
It's completely
In
different
South America,
from what I'm understanding from you.
yeah. In South America, there are a lot more dedicated, right? It's like it's the number one sport here. Let's just put it that way. They're always serious when they play and everything. It amazes me how they dedicate their whole lives to this one sport, and how they really want it, and how they play, and how every time they go into a ball, they go at 100% and everything. And you just don't see that in Canada, right? You don't see the people that are just committed and dedicated, and they don't know what they want. Here, they know what they want, and they want to pursue their dream.
Right, and you could see that in the difference of play, right? Like, as you were mentioning that, when they're going in for
Yeah,
tackle, they're going in for the kill. In Canada, it's
exactly,
completely different from what I'm understanding.
exactly,
And as I've
exactly.
experienced as well, I agree with you
They
100%.
just back away in Canada. They just back away. Yeah, exactly. They
Absolutely.
get intimidated in Canada. They get intimidated from the bigger guy. You know what I'm saying? They get intimidated. Here, the smallest guy is probably the strongest guy on the team. So, it's totally different. They're not scared of anyone. They'll go into a tackle, and if you're not going with them, you're injured. You gotta play, and you gotta play like it's your last time playing.
Yeah, 100%. So how have you been, holding yourself over there?
Oof. At first, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I was really struggling. Because it's a lot. It's also a lot more running, right? These guys are running a lot more than in Canada. Because in Canada, when you defend, it's a lot more zoned out, basically. Like you're
Right.
covering your own zone. Here, and here when you play, you're covering your man. You're covering multiple mans, right? You're covering either the other attacking midfielder, or you're covering their central defensive midfielder. So you're always got to be ready, be on your toes, running. And it was a lot to keep up with at first, but then I started to get used to it. I was starting to feel more comfortable, and I started to show my skill, right? Show my skill, and that's what I think like led to me getting my contract.
So you said it led to your contract signing. What was that process like? Right, because before you signed your first professional contract, you were at A&B Academy. So share that experience with us. How did that all come about?
Oh, it was actually I don't know if it was a funny story, but it's a funny story to me. I was actually at practice. We practice in the morning, and all of a sudden I get a coach from the person that gave me the trials. I get a call from I get a text from the person that actually gave me the trials, the Club Cuenca, and he says you should call me after this. And it had me nervous at some point, because I thought I did something. Maybe I did something wrong, everything was playing in my head. So he calls me, he's asking me how practice was, telling him, it was great, but it was hot, because it's really hot here. But I told him it was great and everything, and then all of a sudden he tells me that he's gonna offer me a professional contract. And it was an unbelievable feeling, right? It was basically a dream come true, right? I was so shocked that I didn't even know what to say to him, you know. I couldn't say anything. I was stuttering the whole time, and just my dad found out before I did, and my dad apparently was crying throughout the whole day at work, and my mom too, and it was just I'm happy. I was happy, but you could see that my parents were just as happy as I was, and it's good to see them how they're living their dream through me too, right? So I just love to put a smile on my parents' face, right?
Absolutely. But let's backtrack a little bit more. How did you get the opportunity to go out for the trial? Was that set up through
Oh, so
TV or
actually it was through Bassam.
right?
So I arrived in Ecuador August the 7th or the
Wait,
5th.
wait, wait.
I can't
Let's
remember.
go even sorry, let's go even further back, right? So
Okay.
take us back in time, like you're in Canada. How did this
Yeah.
all come about, right? Like we want to understand
It's
the grassroots.
this was planned for a while actually. Me and my dad really wanted to do this long time ago. Like when I was like grade 10, 16 years old and everything. My dad wanted me to take me back home to see how I was there and how I could compete there and everything. And, you know, obviously it didn't happen back then, but luckily enough, school ended, obviously. I decided to take my year off, right? Didn't go to a college or university. I didn't really I was so into pursuing my dream as a professional player that I didn't really like do like any of this NCAA stuff, right? I didn't really do my highlight tape or anything. I was just so concentrated in making it to a higher level, right? So my school ended. My dad got tickets to go to Ecuador August 7th, and then here I am. And then actually, the funny thing is I didn't go on trials right away when I came here. I think I was here for like 3 weeks without any training, or I wasn't practicing. Well, I had a few practices, but it wasn't like that serious or anything. But my dad was here looking for teams so I could go, try out and everything. Division 2 professional teams, Division 1. He was making all these phone calls, surprised that my dad was basically sacrificing more than I was. He's sacrificing his job. He's both of my parents are sacrificing a lot for me when I came here. It's amazing what they'll do for me
Yeah,
and
it's huge.
and everything. It's
So
amazing.
from my understanding, you guys were planning this from a long time, as you mentioned. And
Yeah,
I'm assuming here that you were 18 leaving Canada because you just graduated from high school and then you said you took a gap
exactly.
year. So then,
Yeah.
um, so you didn't have anybody helping you guys. You guys just made a decision
Uh,
to,
so what happened is that um, Bassam, I obviously told Bassam that I was leaving to Ecuador, right? So we were here. We did have my dad did have a contact for a Division 2 like professional team, but the guy wasn't always communicating back with my dad, and it was really frustrating both of us, right? Because we were here already for 3 weeks and we just wanted an answer to see yes or no if I could come to try out, right? And surprisingly, Bassam hit up my dad and calls him saying that we should talk about something, that he has a trial for me. He has a friend that works in Club Deportivo Cuenca, and that he is happy to bring me and try out over there in Deportivo Cuenca. So basically, that's how all this stuff worked out. Is Bassam called my pops. We went to go contact. His name is Brian. He's the I don't know how to really say it, but they just hired him in Club Deportivo Cuenca, and he's the one that gave me the opportunity to go and try out for Club Deportivo Cuencav.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing. What connections are very key. They're important.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely.
So
Crazy.
within those 2 or 3 weeks, you guys went down, and were you going out to tryouts, or what was going on within those 2 to
We
3?
were, whoa, we were training on our own. I was training on my own. I was in the gym. I was running around the park and everything. I was still just trying to get ready just in case of that one opportunity comes. I wanted to be at my best, right?
100%.
I wanted to be at my best. I wanted to be basically 100%, I want them, because I'm a Canadian player, right? I'm the Canadian player, and obviously they're going to treat me different. Right? Because I'm half and half. I'm not full. They're obviously going to look at me different. They're going to talk to me different. They're going to treat me different, right? They're going to do everything that they can to put me off my game, because I'm there to take one of their friends' spots, basically.
Absolutely.
So I had to be mentally ready. I had to be physically ready. I had to be just ready in general so I could dominate on the field, basically.
Right. Let's dig into that a little bit deeper. Do you have any stories to share with us that you training on the pitch and a guy does you dirty, goes into a dirty tackle, or
there's plenty. That's how they play here, actually. It's normal. It's normal here. Playing, grabbing, kicking the guy in the shins and everything. It's normal here. It's not like in Canada where you touch someone and they're gonna fall and complain about it, and they tug a shirt and they're gonna start crying about it, crying to the ref and all that. No, man, they play like that. You go back home with scratches, bruises. You gotta ice your leg after, because if you don't, you're not gonna be able to practice tomorrow. So you always gotta be aware of those things, because they play hard here. They're here to win the ball. And if you're on the ball, they will take you out with it. So it's crazy.
Can you share some tips with us of how you were able to adapt? Like, what'd you change from when you were here playing in Canada to going over there? Would you change playing wise, mentally, physically? What'd you do?
I learned here you have to protect yourself more, right? To avoid the injuries, avoid the hard tackling. You have to be more stable. You have to be strong on the ball. You have to be physical. You have to have your arms open. You have to be strong, and because they're going to come either with you or without the ball. They're going to come and they're going to hit you hard, right? So I had to learn to be aware, to check my shoulders more. I had to be, if the guy's coming in quick and I got past the ball, I had to release it quicker so he doesn't hurt me, right?
Absolutely.
So I had to learn that I had to play quick, but there's times where I could play quick and there's times where I could go and dribble and do what I can do, my creativity and my skill and everything, show them what I'm able to do. My game didn't change, right? My game didn't change, but the things that they taught me, I just brought it into me, and it helped me to be a better player, right? So they taught me how to, they taught me how to open up, just move a lot quicker, taught me more how to move, open up for the ball, how to receive it and everything. The basics they teach a lot here. Let's just put it that way, because people might think the basics they already know, but they really don't. It's surprising. It's surprise, yeah. It surprises me.
Right.
It's crazy.
So when you signed your first professional contract, how did it feel?
Oh, I remember it was around noon. He called me telling me I had a professional contract, and I went to go because they heard me on the phone, and my aunts were going crazy because I was living with my aunts and everything, and my aunts were going crazy, telling me congratulations, because it's their hometown, right? And I'm gonna be playing for their hometown team. My father was raised there. all my aunts were raised there. My cousins lived there. You know, it's crazy how they were so happy for me. You know, it's just so happy to see the joy in my grandfather's eyes. My grandma was crying and everything, and just I remember I called my dad. My dad's in the middle of work. It's 12 o'clock, and he's just bawling his eyes out. You know, apparently I called my mom that saying that apparently my dad's been crying all day. You know, he's just so happy to see his son succeed, right? You know, following his footsteps, right? Because right now I'm in his footsteps basically. I'm here where he was playing. So it's my dream. It's my dream that's coming true, and it's also his dream that's coming true too. It's my parents' dream and everything. So what's my dream is their dream, and they want to be there all the way for me. They're very passionate for me.
Of course, that's an amazing thing to have. What things changed for you, Santi, once you signed your first professional contract?
You have to basically change your whole, you don't have to change, but you have to change the way you think, right?
Right.
Now you got to watch what you say, what you do. You can't get injured, right? You can't go play on these, pickup games and, because some of these games, like pickup games, you could get really injured, right? And you don't want that. You want to be healthy. You want to be ready to dominate on the field every time you touch the field, right? And playing in these little games and everything can really affect you, and it could hurt you basically. Like, I had to learn that I had to be more professional. I had to now I had to what's it called? I had to keep myself in shape this whole time now. I gotta be physically ready all the time. I gotta always be, watching what I eat now. I gotta be watching everything. I gotta be taking care of my body, because now my body is a tool, right? It's a tool to my success, right? So
absolutely.
just gotta.
So through your signing process, did you have an agent to assist with that?
No, not really. I didn't really have an agent, just unless you consider my dad as my agent. But I didn't really have an agent there. No.
Right. I mean, every situation is different. Everyone's story is different, right? Like, I've heard this before. So would you, would you say it's necessary to have an agent, or from your experience, you had your father look through the contract, right? So, like, what would you say about experience?
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have an agent, right? It's good, but he has to be very trustworthy, right? And I'm feeling like I should rely more on my family, because I know my family wouldn't they wouldn't lie to me. They always tell me the truth and everything. So if something's wrong with the contract, they'll tell me straight up, and then, we would have to figure something out. But my dad said it's good, so it was a straightforward contract. It was fine. My dad says, go ahead. You can go ahead and sign it.
Right. Let's dive into the future right here real quick. 2022 is around the corner.
Yeah.
What are your 2022 goals?
Oh, I got plenty. Well, I really want to, because obviously I'm the new guy, right? I want to try and earn my spot on the team, the starting 11, playing every game, making it to the playoffs, playing in something called, you ever heard of the Copa Libertadores?
Heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, I want to try and go, and our team go and make a success over there.
Absolutely.
And I just want to do, I want the team and me to do better than we did last year. Let's just put it that way. I want just nothing but success for this team.
Got it. Do you have any tips that you could share with aspiring soccer players that want to go pro?
Just stay hungry, stay dedicated. If you really want it, and trust me, nothing's going to stop you if you're sacrificing, if you're dedicating your time and energy and all of that. You know, you have to be passionate. You have to have the heart for the game. You have to just, you know, if you don't love the game, like my dad says, then what's the point on playing, right? Just, you know, you just have to be dedicated to learning different types, because everywhere it's a different type of playing style, right? So you have to be dedicated. You have to be ready to learn, because everywhere is something new. Nothing's the same anywhere.
Got it. Those are great tips. All right, let's dive into the fun 13 questions that I have for you.
Alrighty.
Who's your favorite team?
My favorite team, oof, to be honest, I don't really have a favorite team, but back in the day, it was just I always was a fan of the old Barcelona team.
Yeah.
Of the Ronaldinho, the Ronaldinho, the Iniesta, Xavi, Messi, Eto'o, Henry. I was all a fan of those guys, you know. I love the way I love the old school play, you know. I was never really a fan of the new school.
For sure. All right, I forgot to mention, these are speed questions. You got to answer them like quick.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Sorry. I forgot to mention that. But all right, let's do the next one. Favorite player right now?
Messi.
Favorite player, cleats?
Favorite pair of cleats has to be the Copas, Adidas Copas.
The new ones or the old ones?
No, the old ones.
Okay, classics. Your most memorable soccer moment?
Oh, my. Winning nationals.
Winning nationals. Okay, nice. Did you ever play soccer in the house when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah. Break a lot of things. Yeah, break a lot of things.
Who's better, Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi, what the hell kind of question is that? Messi.
Adidas or Nike?
Adidas.
What's the first team you're picking to play against your buddy in FIFA?
Oh, Liverpool.
That's your go-to?
Yes, Liverpool.
All right. What's your favorite fast food place?
Damn. I don't even have one. Man. Oh, Firehouse Subs. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. I've never heard of that spot. What's your favorite song?
Favorite song right now? Oof. Damn, man. Oh, it's called Loco.
Loco? Who's that by?
Yeah. It's by Chimbala.
Chimbala. Okay.
Yeah.
2 goals in a game or 1 goal, 1 assist?
1 goal and assist.
Nice. Would you rather score a free kick or a PK?
Free kick.
How far out?
Oof. 30 yards.
Nice. If you were a coach and you were able to sub in any player in history, who would that be?
Ronaldinho.
We like the skillful players.
Oof. Yeah.
And before we go, is there anything that you wanted to add in here or mention or, give a shout out to?
Yeah. Shout out to my family, I'll see you guys soon. And I'm grateful for everything that's, that was given for me, to help me through this journey.
Absolutely. And you're on your way. You're already doing your thing. You're on the way to more success, and just keep working, bro.
Thank you.
All right, Santi. I appreciate you taking the time to do this interview with me.
Of course.
All right, bro. Thank you.